everybody. Once again, this is Fern with Facing the Furies, back with another pedal demo. This time we're going to be talking about the SansAmp Para Driver DI. This particular one is the version 2 from Tech 21. This is going to be part of a little series on direct recording. I do a lot of recording in my home studio, and I obviously don't always have the option to do a guitar amplifier as loud as it needs to go. So what ends up happening is I use one of these different solutions for direct recording. Let's take a look at this one today. I'll be playing a lot of the samples for it through on a Telecaster Modern Player Thin Line Deluxe, which is a dual P90 pickup semi-hollow guitar. And this is the clean signal. I am in the middle position with both pickups engaged. Now let's take a look at the SansAmp. Here it is engaged. As you can tell, that has a very amp-like, very tube-like sound. Let's take a look at some of these controls. I'm going to zero everything out except for the blend knob, which is this one right here. The blend knob is going to stay at maxed so that we get 100% of the affected signal. But let's zero everything else out. The drive I will leave also close to minimum, just so that we can get a little bit less of coloration from it, but still have some kind of warmth to it. So let's take a look at that. Again, for reference, here's the dry signal directly into the interface. SansAmp engaged. Immediately you can tell that there is a little bit of a volume drop, and what I attribute that to is the active EQ on this particular unit. As you increase some of these values, you're actually actively boosting or actively cutting that particular frequency in the EQ spectrum. Let's look at the treble knob. Let's look at the mid knob. And the bass knob. As you can see, there is a very wide range of EQ on all three of those knobs. So the unit is actually really versatile. Some people find it actually a little bit frustrating to try to dial it in. The controls are actually very sensitive, so a little change can make a dramatic difference on the overall sound. If you notice, the mid knob is kind of tied to the gain structure itself. So if you decrease the mids, you're also decreasing gain and vice versa. And let's talk about the mid shift knob here. This one is actually tied to the mid EQ knob, and this acts a lot like a voice or a character knob on some of the other Tech 21 pedals. this being the original one, I think what those pedals are trying to do is exactly what this is. It's just a mid shift, so it shifts the mid emphasis on a specific frequency, anywhere from 160 hertz down to about 3 kilohertz or 3,000 hertz. Very versatile knob. I actually find that it changes the character quite a bit. Now, if you notice, it's not really doing much at this setting. The mid knob is actually zeroed out, so it's not doing any active cut or active boosting. But if we were to run it kind of the way I had it earlier, now you're going to see this knob sweep through quite a bit. So it's actually acting kind of like an inductor, the way a wah pedal would work, but it provides for very, very fine-tuning, very versatile voicing on this pedal. So once again, this pedal is a really good option for direct recording. If you need an amp surrogate, you don't have the option to mic up an amp in cab and use it to record. This is a very good option. Right now I'm using the 1/4 inch output, which is a instrument level unbalanced signal. Or sorry, it uses a regular instrument cable at instrument unbalanced signal levels. However, the signal coming out of this is actually buffered and balanced on either of those outputs. You do have the option of running an XLR output as well. There at the bottom, and that one also has the option for a negative 20 or for a 20 decibel cut on the XLR out, as well as the 1/4 inch has a 10 decibel boost, so you can kind of normalize those levels and those outputs on this unit. All in all, it's a really good unit. I find it very versatile. There's a couple of things that are the same as the original Para Driver DI. You have the phantom ground lift switch. There's the 10 decibel boost for the 1/4 inch output. Here's the 20 decibel cut for the XLR output. These two are actually something new. You have a rumble filter, which works best on acoustic guitars and cuts out some of that boomy low end. An electric guitar, not so useful. I think it kind of sucks out all the body on it. And the air switch here, you also have an option to add some high-end sparkle and some clarity for, again, it's useful for acoustic instruments. On electric guitar, I find it thins out the sound a little too much, so I don't like engaging that. And the only one we haven't talked about is this drive knob here. This actually gives you some really good overdrive sounds, just like a saturated amp would. Let's go to the bridge pickup on the telly. Really nice overdrive, really nice saturation, and again, you can bring it down to as little as you want, just to kind of give a slight tube-like breakup. Here we are on the bridge pickup still. Another thing that this unit does that a lot of people don't really know about, and maybe they don't use it to its fullest potential, is that this will function as a regular passive DI box as well. And if you switch off the unit, it still acts as a regular passive DI box. So if I had an XLR cable hooked up to a mixer, for example, I would still be able to run an acoustic guitar, for example, into it. So it is what the name describes as a DI box, essentially at its most basic. But the other cool feature about this is, even if you engage the circuitry and take the blend knob all the way down, you still have an active EQ on this DI box. The SansAmp circuitry itself, that amp simulation, is not in the mix. Now what you have basically is EQ on the DI box and a level boost or cut. And the SansAmp circuitry is not active. So this drive knob isn't going to do anything. It's a completely transparent EQ. So that's another really cool feature about this unit. If you ever decide that you're looking for a solution for both live and recording, this is an excellent unit. I do very much recommend this one if you ever get a chance to go out and pick one up. So yeah, this is it, and I really love this unit. So Tech21, if you're out there listening, hint hint, I would love an endorsement. I'm just kidding, but not really. So once again, this is the SansAmp Para Driver DI version 2 by Tech21. Another really useful option for direct recording if you need it. I will be demoing this pedal in slightly different context here in the next couple of days, so stay tuned for that. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I'm Fern from Facing the Furies, and once again, keep an eye out for our new EP coming out shortly on iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, all of the other online music services. So thanks again for watching. You guys keep on rocking, and I'll see you next time.